Okay. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to kind of narrow down and kind of walk you through all the steps that are required for the database project. Now, the database project basically is just going to be planning out how to incorporate a database into an existing website. Okay, that's the core thing that you're going to be doing. Now, there's some other papers and things like that you're going to have to turn in, write-ups that you'll have to turn in, but the gist of it is just planning out how you might incorporate a database component to an existing website or a site that you make up. All right, so going back to the syllabus, here's the syllabus site here. Let's go ahead and click on the quick link, the anchor that'll take us down to the assignments area. We're going to click on assignment number 3. Okay, that's the assignment with the database assignment is assignment number 3. So we'll click there. And then that brings us to all the stuff that talks about assignment number 3 and what is involved. Okay, so let's kind of walk through the rubric really quickly here. Briefly show the current website and briefly discuss the proposed change you plan to implement by applying a relational database. Okay, all right, so let's click really quickly over to the example that I brought up in class, which is Bubba's Public Library. Okay, so their library website obviously is pretty slim, right? The one thing that we want to add to their library website in a dynamic way, they already have a static way they do this. They list books that they've been either reading or reviewing, okay, and whose favorite it is. What we're going to do is we're actually going to add a database component to their website so that we can automate when these things roll on and when these things roll off of the website, so they're not having to constantly go in and actually manually update this one section right here. Okay, all right, so that is kind of the first step there, is to find a site, either make one up like I did right here, or find one that exists that you're going to update. Okay, the second part is to of that rubric. Let's go back to the rubric. The second part of that rubric is to briefly discuss the proposed change you want to implement by applying a relational database. Okay? So if I were going to do that for Bubba's Public Library of Bubbaville, what I would do is I would say, okay, this is the website. Currently, what they do is they go in and they actually edit the HTML code every time they want to change this listing of books that they're reading and reviewing. So what we'd want to do is we would want to go in and create a database, right? We'd create a database with some tables in it, and these tables would then feed to this page. This page would be linked to those tables, and so what's actually displaying right here is content from that database, not statically coded content that they put on here every day or whenever they update it, but it would actually be content that would be pulled from a database. So it would be database driven. Okay. All right. More specifically, we're going to have these things expire based on the date that they post these things. So if they post things for the week of 3/11/2013, then what we'll do is we'll have some logic in this page right here that says only show things, don't show things more than 7 days past the date they posted up there. Okay, so basically the longest time any of these entries will be up here will be 7 days. After 7 days they'll expire and they'll roll off. Okay, and it would be based on the date that whoever enters the book would put in there. Okay. Alright, so that's kind of what it would be. So it's basically a way to get this same information up here, but to make it more automated, more streamlined. Okay, let's go back to the rubric. So that kind of answers number 1 right there. The second part is provide a brief description of what function the database supports in the website. Okay, so show the database, the tables, and establish relationships. Okay, so this is a little more specific here. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw on the board really quickly here, just kind of some some basic tables that we're going to have for that website. Okay?